Lived two lives, try to play both sides, but I couldn't find my own place. Called the problem child. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a VeVe, OMI, Definity, DEBI, daCat, SHIRO update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Been a crazy couple of days, and we are going to get through it. We have had a it's been a time, but we are, like I said, we're getting that bread. All right, let's oh, shout out to Akomi over there for re-quoting this, saying Stackr transactions up for VeVe. They are. We've had a lot of stuff. They're part of our thumbnail today. We'll go get them in. OMI Definity. Okay, that's what we have here. Let's take a look at Stackr real quick and see what we're at. You can end a sentence with at and a preposition. I read it in Sapphires. It's also a Gilmore Girls reference. Okay, we're refreshing Stackr here. And we are the top 10. Okay, so you have 570, like JPG Morgan is just going to be in first forever. And to be number 10, you need to have 141,592, because Kaki Gaijin right now is 591. OMI burn. So let's see what we have. Okay, so it's 1. Oh God, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7, 1, 8, 1, 9, 2. It's 2.1, 2.5. I'm sorry, 2.15 million OMI being burned. And if you go to Stackr's X, or I think it should be a Comey's X. That's actually probably going to be this thumbnail today, where they go and say, and they actually requote Abyss OMI burn, saying September 4, 2025, 911,142 OMI burn, 350 transactions, 910,940 3-day average, with 67,599,494 OMI burned in total over the course of Stackr's lifetime. And you have Akomi requoting that, saying, fun fact Friday, the first 4 days of September have seen an average of 400 transactions on the Stackr World Marketplace per day. August saw an average of 66 transactions per day, with 100 million OMI up for grabs on the weekly and monthly leaderboards. Will you achieve leaderboard glory? I will not, because it seems that, all right, 500 gets like 28,000, give or take. Is that 4? You need to spend like $2,500 just to get in the top 10. It's a lot, and I'm not going to do that. So, well, maybe I will. Maybe I will. It depends. My friend Mike texted me today, and he said, like, hey, here's what I like to see. And it was a clip of mine that said, I think OMI will be at 00067 by the end of the month, in the next 3 to 4 weeks. And Wes like requoted it. And I want to tell people why. I think because I have little bit of just tiny smidge amount of money coming in around that time, super small amount. And I feel like the good Lord, or whoever is in control of this simulation, likes to mess with me a little bit. And I know 2 days before I get that money, OMI's just going to run. Now maybe this is a maybe this is a gift. Maybe it's something that it'll go the opposite way, and we go back to like 0002. And if that happens, I'm gonna get a fudge ton of OMI. I'll get like 100 million, maybe not that much, but if we go back to 0002, yeah, I'll get a lot. 0020, right? Because we're at 0003. Let's take a look at OMI. That'll be the first token we look at today. Down another 4% on the day, so we've been down 15% on the week, still up 67% on the month, so close to 69. But yeah, on the week, we reached 3.7 multiple times. Went down to below 3.5, above 3.5 multiple times, and even yesterday, no, 2 days ago, went down to like 3.00, like it really close to the 2.9s, went back up on the back down now, and 3.073. So it seems that there's quite a bit of buy pressure at the 00029 level. What happens if we go below that? I don't know. We'll see. Let's see how it's doing compared to the rest of the market today. Bitcoin pretty flat on this. Wild. So Bitcoin was 110.68 this morning, went past 113 a couple times, and then has been 109. Yeah, it was actually, oh no, it was like 110.3. It was really close to that. Really close to that 109 level, kind of bouncing from there. Again, that's over the past day. The past 7 days, Bitcoin's actually up 2%. Past month and south rate. So yeah, over the past month, it's down less than 4% because we started at 113.9. We'd gone up to 125, and we had actually gone down to. It'll let me. Yeah, we'd actually gone down to 107.6 at one point, and obviously been up from there. But that's Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Ethereum. On the month, it's up 17%, down 1% on the week, and up 0.05, pretty much flat on the day. Had gone up to, yeah, I don't know what was going on. It was up to 44.6, 44.7, and then just had a wicked downturn. And I think it was the same with Bitcoin as well. Yeah, it had that as well. So just pure manipulation. And you have the people that, and listen, I get it. I watch the charts too, probably more than I should. Probably not as much as I should. If you're going to trade, I don't really trade. It's good to keep yourself abreast of the situation though. And I know people that are like, bro, like, why can't they just let us run? And it's like, well, if you want to make money, like if you have that much money, yeah, you manipulate the market so you could make more. And that's what you do. You shake people out. You get your positions, then you long it, then you go crazy with it. And when you have trillions in assets under management, that's what you do. It's very volatile. It's very easy to do that. They're making money hand over fist. Traders don't really care what the long-term outcome is. They just, can make like hundreds of thousands. Like if again, the big traders can make hundreds of millions per day, just on some of these small trades. So again, as long as there's volatility and there's room to do it, and that's what I think we're going to get from OMI at some point, because the volume's under 3 million today, which I guarantee you most of that's on Deepcoin. It is 58%. And OKX 15, almost 16%, Gate.io about 12. But that's what you need: liquidity, and you need big swings in order for traders to want to come in. So I think there probably are a few traders that are in. Swing traders, I don't think they'd be doing it day trading, but I would say swing traders. And yeah, so that was why I said that the other day, just because again, the tiny bit of money I have coming in, would love to get more OMI, but if OMI is at like 0007 by that point, and it does like a 2.1, 2.2x from here, it's like, okay, maybe I'll get a tiny bit, but at that point, there'd probably be other stuff to get, like DEVVE. We'll go over DEVVE here real quick, because that had an interesting day. It's up 5% on the day. It was up like 10% at one point, up to like 48.5 cents. We had a low of about 43 cents, again, up to 48.5 cents. I think that was early this morning. A little bit of a sell-off here the last hour, down to about 45 right now. And again, you see the last couple of transactions, you see that red bar. So just a tiny bit, but we're getting to the low of where that was, and those two just closed one, open up the other. I do like that. So we'll see if it goes a bit below that. We'll see if it hangs there and then goes up. I also realized I didn't do what OMI's market cap was. 86.2 million market cap. Okay, let's go to DEVVE and see. And yeah, World Liberty Fi is just, oh god, taking the piss. We'll go over that in a second. So DEVVE, and again, normally you have like between 200 and $270,000 in volume, and there's 202,000 in volume now. 10% of that was in one transaction. I repeat, out of the $202,000 it's had in volume over the last 24 hours, 10% of that was in one transaction. This morning, there was a $20-something thousand buy. I think at that time it had got up to 4.7, 4.8, whatever. And then now, yeah. So a really, really small amount of volume. So it is not going to take much for this to really move, because again, we're low on volume on the day, but you just had one person say like, yeah, just going to go in 20K. I probably would have been better to do 4 or 5K buys or 5 4K buys, whatever you want to, however you want to split it up. Even 3 7K buys, 7, then 6. That probably would have been better than just kind of costing yourself a little money, but people can do what they're going to do, which is fine. Zombie saying, what up, Zombie? How's it going? Echo712, my man. How you doing, fam? Yeah, I want to go over World Liberty Financial, because the Trumps that are accusing people, Binance maybe, of just saying like, oh, they're selling on us and they're purposely trying to keep the price down. This is why nobody wants to get Binance anymore. My friend just sent me the lotto tickets he got, and my other friend's like, heck off, I'm not paying unless we hit the winner. Fudge, I got so many messages. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm never gonna get back to these. That's on Saturday. I might go live late on Saturday if we're going to go live. Like, instead of going from like 8 to 10, I'll go from like 9 to 11:05. So this way we can do the numbers together. Depends if there's any football games on. But I finished the Monkey comic. The first 21 pages are edited for the first daCat comic. Be advised, it's going to be 55 plus pages. So then the next, I think, like 13 pages. So like half of the stuff I'm making the notes for, that's edited. It's not edited yet. I didn't give it to the artist yet. But then I started kind of just editing the second comic, and that's probably going to be 55 pages too, 60 pages. Sorry, it's a long read. But again, you get a lot of content, and it's going to be really cheap. $10, $11, whatever we do it. Whatever we do it for. Let's see what else we got. Fudge. Yeah, it's been a thing the last few days. Anyway, World Liberty Financial down about 41% since its launch on September 1st. $779 million in volume. The $4.9 billion market cap, 18.1 billion fully diluted, and it's doesn't look great. But I do know some people that got in on the pre-sale. They've made massive amounts of money. All this is just gravy for them. So at some point, the people that got in the pre-sale will stop selling, and then I think that you get this run up, especially in the blow off top. When does that happen? Honestly, I don't know. Blow off top. You have the people say like, oh yeah, 4-year cycle, same as always. October for Bitcoin, for October, and then November for ETH, and then alts run, Santa Rally, and then Q1 next year. That's it. We're done. And it's possible. There's another camp though that thinks that stair steps, and again, it's been. Go back to Bitcoin here. See where we're at. Now, over the past month, again, we were at like 113, we're like 110 now. But not a great month. I mean, it started off pretty well. What date was this? Yeah, August. First 2 weeks of August were great. We went up to 122, but the last 2 weeks have been ugh. Go over the 3 month. The 3 month, at one point you were down. Late June, you wick down to under 100K, and then you go up 25%. Still up 97% for the year. Anyway, but there are some people that think because of people's budgets, and I mean like nation states budgets, where they're going to go in and buy Bitcoin as soon as January 1st. They could do that as well. Then they think that Q1 next year, that's when the actual blow off top is. It might be. We'll see. We'll see. Sabra the cat says, "Yo, Randy, what's going on? The cat in the house." Let's go over to cat real quick. See what it's up to. Meow 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 meow. Okay. Pretty flat on the day, down 0.06%. So down 1/2 of 0.1%. $2.6 million market cap, 2,000 in volume, and a $594,000 liquidity pool. A little bit weighted towards daCat, $298,000 in daCat, and $297,000 in Ethereum. Oh, I gotta do this. Okay. Meow, 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 meow. Okay. Yeah, it's had a wicked just up, down, up, down, up, down. But you are getting higher lows from it. Well, that's for the last like couple days. We're actually much higher. We were much higher a while ago. So where it is right now, yeah, it's higher than the lows. Again, months ago, you're at a 400K market cap. So now being at 2.6K market cap is pretty nice. It's a nice fix X from there, from those lows. I am in negotiations with two other communities for me to write comics for them. The price for me to write comics has only gone up because of a lot of demand, and then also once these are successes on VeVe, that's going to be a big one. The rate of which I would charge to write will go up exponentially. Omar Sajay saying, "Good evening." What's up, Omar? Good evening. Yvette says, "Yo, I'm listening to you watching the Chiefs and the Chargers game." Oh yeah, what are they? Oh yeah, that just came on. That was, so I was watching a bit of the Eagles and Cowboys game yesterday, and then I got done streaming. It was like halftime. I watched a bit of the third quarter, and I'm like, I'm working, right? Like I'm going in and I'm writing, doing some editing, and then it suddenly like, is this the after game? Like, it was just a third quarter, right? And then apparently there was lightning within 5, so there was a delay. And then I just like, okay, I'm doing other stuff, and I didn't pay attention until like this morning. Like, oh, who won that game? And Eagles won. Heartbreaker. But let's take a look at Chiefs game. Is it at the Chargers? Where it's does it say over here? Who's home team? Where is the Chiefs game? They are. It's in Brazil. The heck? Chiefs open 2025 NFL season against AFC West rival Chargers as Patrick Mahomes and company look to start bouncing back from last year's Super Bowl humiliation. Woo. It's a battle of playoff teams from last season as the NFL returns to Arena Corinthians in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Okay. Why they went to Brazil, I don't know. David Yu just added to his story. It was the Assassin's Creed thing, so that was cool. And then Ron English propaganda stuff, also cool. Sorry. Something just came up. Anyway, Sapper the cat says, "Oh, reposting the stream. Thanks, fam. Get that bread." Let's go back to see what else we're doing here. I'll get to other stuff in a second. I saw on CNBC before, Roblox has a developers conference. No mention of VeVe. So listen, I made a video like 2 months ago saying like, what do we have? Do we have, I don't even know. I know I mentioned Roblox and I think Minecraft, and I don't know what the other one was. The other, obviously none of them have come true. I was like, hey, these are possible. Listen, for people that were suggesting Roblox, I don't think it's Roblox, because you have that big article that came out that would have been perfect to advertise VeVe in. and it wasn't. And even if it's like, okay, I get it. They're the big sponsors, like they're the big IP, right? So if they don't mention VeVe, well, then VeVe should mention VeVe. And again, they had a massive article that came out talking about the IP and how everyone can go in. And once everyone goes in, you know, if they have the licenses of any IP, they can go in and you can make your own world and AI that's in it with it now, so you could legit speak to it, and it creates that world, and like that would be perfect for VeVe. And again, they no mention of VeVe on that article a few months ago, and then today on the Roblox Developers Conference, no mention of VeVe. So I think it's safe to say that it is not them. In which case, who is it? Is it Minecraft? Is it just Microsoft in general? Is it Fortnite would be dope. I've seen a lot of parallels with that. So yeah, that would be my guess. Is either Minecraft or maybe like a Fortnite type. Fortnite would be like too big, right? So yeah, I don't mean to like put the final nail in the coffin or pop anyone's bubble. Pop the bubble. Pop the great SpongeBob episode. Bubble Buddy. No, don't I get a say in this too? That's such a good episode. They're all good episodes, right? The first 3 seasons of SpongeBob are like the best thing ever. So yeah, I hate to kind of burst everyone's bubble there. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's Roblox. Minecraft would be cool. That'd be dope. Again, we'll see. We'll keep everyone abreast. VV Zombie says the game's on. Heck yeah. Connor saying hello. What's going on? Joe says there is a Flutter troll spamming CoinMarketCap. When you check the OMI price, there as a whale emoji and looks like a complete loser. A lot of them are like, if you do nothing but complain all the time. Like, I forget who said it. Charlie? It's either my friend Charlie or my friend Tony. Maybe it was my friend Vinny. Either way, the line that was said that I will remember forever: people who complain are people to be dealt with. And there's a Friends episode about that where Ross is just like super, like he lost his girlfriend, he lost his job, like, you know, he had a rough month, right? And then he's just like, oh, can't anything in my life go right? And I was like, bro, like you're bumming me out. Like I don't even want to watch the show anymore. And I was like 12 when I'm watching this. I was like, bro, this is like Ross, what the heck? Yeah. So anyone that's a futter, that's all they do. Like, what type of life do you think they have? It's probably not a good one. I don't know why I remember it. This just came into my mind. There was this. I won't mention names. She wasn't even my teacher. I don't know why I was in this class. Maybe it was like extra study hall, extra. I don't know, whatever it was. And this girl comes in. She's like, blah blah blah. I have a big problem. Blah blah blah. And I was like, wish that was my biggest problem. And then the teacher's like, it's each their own. I was like, fair point. Yeah. So I feel like I just block them. There are some that if you're just like blowing off steam, that's fine. Like in sales, you have to go in, and sometimes that's what you need to do. There's a episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood where they go in the land of make believe, and the king, whatever his name is, has a really like bad temper. He's in a really bad mood, and people are like, oh, don't go around him. You know, he's super mad today. And okay, fair point. And then someone asked the king to play like the trumpet, whatever, and he does. And at the end of it, when they come out of land of make believe, Mr. Rogers says like maybe the king blew out some of his madness when he played, and that's why he was in a better mood afterwards. And I remembered that. I don't know why I remembered that, but I remember that years later, where I had this guy. It was one of my first times with like a client, like super complaining, super like he was just super stressed. He was super pissed. And I'm thinking like, how fucking, I'm the one that gave you this fucking money. Like I will fuck like, but I didn't say that. For some reason, that memory popped into my head of Mr. Rogers saying maybe when the king played the trumpet, he blew out some of his madness. And I was like, let me see what happens if I just don't fight him on this. And I just say like, you're right, downright un-American. You know, this is awful. Like whatever. And worked out great. So whenever and that's why I think I did really well in sales, is because you have people that are not willing to do it. I even like in the military, like I remember some people saying like, well, I'm not going to be talked to like that. Okay, well, he's like 4x your superior. Like you can complain and he's going to make your life shit, or you just be like, you sit there and take it, be like, yep, I fudged up. And obviously there's times and places for everything, but again, for the fudders, sometimes they just need to vent. It's like, ever date a girl? And I don't know what this is. I think this is just one of the main differences between sexes, where it's, if any of my guy friends, any of like my boys came to me with a problem, I am sitting like I am like where I'm intently playing a video game, instead of just like, I'm just like, okay, locked in. And I'm thinking of solutions like, okay, what do we do? How do we do this? How do we handle this? What is the best way to attack this problem? And it's a great powwow. It's a great, I enjoy stuff like that. If any girl goes to you with the problem, it's not for a solution. They just want to vent. Like 99% of the time, they're not telling you because they want a solution. They're not telling you so you can swoop in. And like, again, even though a solution could be ready to smack them in the face, you can't tell them. Do not give women solutions, because then they will think you're not listening, despite you knowing the solution to their problem. Most girls, they might even know the solution. They just want to vent. They just want to feel heard. And same thing with sales. So maybe this fudder just needs to go in and vent. Maybe he's just a loser troll. I read some comment the other day about, it was like making fun of me, which like, and sometimes like there was a comment a friend was telling me about before. Is like, yeah, there's one of the comments on here says like, I thought Randy got deported. And I was like, that's fucking funny. I was like, that's good. But there was a comment the other day, I forget what it was, I forget where it was, and it was just like, Randy's a loser. And I was like, let me see what this person's commenting about. Like, it doesn't matter, but let me just see what. And then one of the replies on one of the things was just like, I would love to, but I have no money. It's like, okay. Again, you can't take anything these trolls say seriously, because most of them are unsuccessful. If they were, they wouldn't. Like, I don't know any successful troll. I don't know anyone that is successful and has the time to do that. And even if they did, that's not how they would spend their time. Like, there's some successful people that, yeah, I built up these businesses and they mostly run themselves. Now I have other stuff to do. It's just not a good use of time. So I know I just ignore them. Long side track there. What's up, Tammy? How's it going, fam? Hello. Ironman616 reposting the stream saying fun times in the market. It is. There's a lot of stuff going on. I put up a bunch of stuff for sale yesterday, and I think Kaki Gaijin got a few of them, because I am up 1 million OMI. So I sold a little bit. I got 1 million OMI now. I don't know what I sold. Can I go to my listings? Dashboard, listings. It was a lot of my Blackpink stuff, so I'm pretty sure it was Kaki Gaijin. And I want to remove. Can I? Yes. Okay, remove. Fuck. Sorry. Go back to dashboard, go back to listings. I want to remove two things and then re-upload them. Confirm, successfully removed. All right, sweet. We're going to go to Todd here because I have, and what's the price of OMI today? I know I just went over it. All right, 306. Okay, not bad. Let's go to, and while I do this, let me go over one of the other sponsors of the channel. SHIRO, shout out to them for sponsoring the channel. We're down about 3% on the day. 316,000 in volume. That is a 48% decrease in volume. Granted, Friday. So, yeah. Yes, I did. I did. Meow, meow, meow. How? Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Oh, that's him. I did not notice that text message. Sorry. Got the winner. I had a dream. 650. Well, if we get, so there's one pool where it's me and two other guys, and if we win, so okay, so let's say we get like 300 million. 300 million, 250 million each. I'll get multiple billions of OMI. I want to get on Dr. Profit's level. I want to get 30 billion. That's too much, right? Like, I don't need that much. I know exactly where I would put. I really only know where I'd probably put maybe half. Probably not even half. I would say a good 80 to 100 million. I would know exactly where to put. The other 150 million, I don't know where. Maybe I do. Yeah, I don't know. Jeremy Padower had posted about that, I think today. What would you do if you won? And I was like, well, I'd disappear for a few months. I would go over and I would say I'd buy a bunch of crypto, buy a bunch of businesses, increase my holdings in the businesses I currently have, buy a bunch of Pokemon cards. And VeVe wrote an article today about the $3 million lightsaber, and we want to go there. Anyway, before I get to that, yeah, SHIRO, what you doing, girl? $4.7 million market cap, 316,000 in volume. Where's that volume coming from? I'm curious for SHIRO. That is MEXC 20. Okay, KCEX 42%. All right, cool. And then DeLorean real quick, and then we'll get to listing stuff on Stackr. DeLorean's up 3.5% today. Go DeLorean. Let's go. I still have a tiny bit. I have one last payment from them. I got half, then I got a third, and another third, and now I have the last third in a couple weeks. It does not matter. I will not sell at these levels because it's worth next to nothing. But at some point I will. So DeLorean, they'll have over 8 million in volume, and with just $11 million market cap, this is going to get good. I don't know when, but again, like if this gets to $100 million market cap with one IP, something that VeVe already has with like an $89 million market cap for OMI, there's no doubt in my mind that we can't get to like multiple billions of dollars. Now I know 3 billion is obviously just 1 cent, and I said 2 to 4 cents. So yes, 6 to 12 billion, 30 billion at 10 cents, which is hard but not impossible. Anyway, where was I? Was I off 30 billion? I was about to read something. Oh yeah, we'll go over that Darth Vader lightsaber. But first off, we're gonna go try to sell a Todd here. Oh, I guess it takes a little while for it because I delisted it because I was gonna go relist it and then I can't. Yeah, so I was gonna relist it and then share it on X, but it's not letting me. So I will do that later. Anyway, got JL says the problem is some people get extremely bitter when they believe they made a poor investment and refuse to simply move on. Fair point. So I think OMI will make a comeback, but even if I didn't, I'd just move on. Yeah, it's like Like people that can't move on from their exes. Like, bro, there are literally billions of girls. Like, how many are like eligible between the ages of like 21 and like, 50? There's still probably hundreds of millions of girls that fit that criteria. It's like, bro, just move on. See, I think girls have that right. They're just like, they eliminate like the weak shit. They're like, listen, I want. Granted, they have the opposite problem. They go for like the top, which is great. But they want like a guy that's like 6 foot plus, fair, fine. Eliminate a lot of guys there, like blue eyes in finance, making 200 grand a year. It's like, you know how little that is, or you know how little percent of the guys like in the world that do that. It's like, that's pretty hard. Guys seem to can't get over girls, and girls seem to want guys that everybody wants, and it's separate issues for each one. Anyway, yeah, I think the mentally healthy people would just move on, or the ones that okay, made a mistake. Yeah, but unfortunately, some that just can't, which their nature, I guess. Says, if you get bitter over bad investments, there's no way you can be a whale. Whales will move on. Agreed. 100%. Mosbane's a happy Friday. What's going on? Happy Friday. Turver saying, any Randy collectibles? Yeah, there's a few. Let me go to mine again. So there are my Scar, my number 46 Scar. So it's a sub 50. I have for 600K OMIs, $183. That is about 4x the price of the floor, but the floor, the floor is like a bunch of 3 digits. My Jisoo Blackpink Light is there for 100,000 OMI, $30, which is like 30% below floor. My EMI Energy is 90,000 OMI, $27, same thing, like 24% below floor. My Group Black Panther Ultra Rare is $9.18, 30,000 OMI, so that's a bit below floor. Did any of my? Can I go to my transactions? Oh, I got a bunch of my stuff. So all right, Vengeance. Okay, I had a bunch of Vengeance comics. So I haven't checked the prices on VeVe yet today. Oh, Space Penguin. He replied, I love Space Penguin. Just give him some love. He's a cool dude. He's been on the show before. Okay. Let's see what we got. A Comey Secret Rare logo. I'm not gonna sell this, but I mean, if it goes to like $5,000, I'll probably sell it. But that's good. I don't think that's going to $5,000 anytime soon. VeVe logo, gold and silver logo. Now it's back up to 15 in the market, but it's still 6K. Okay, so people are. 20 million. So the price on the logo on Stackr is the same as it is on VeVe. So that's interesting. Not selling mine though. Not at these prices. I don't think I would sell a logo before like 20K. And let's do Todd, because I know he was at 515. 505 now. So it's been going slowly down. It was at like 540. I think it was actually like 595 at one point, slowly going down, 505 now. But just a couple months ago, I remember Tammy was buying them at like 295. I was like, damn. She did really well on those. But the first 3-digit is $800. And the only 2-digit out there is number 69 for $17,000. And that's it. Mine, for whatever, is still showing up, even though and it's sort of like $2,800. It's really low. Despite me taking it off. So if you can buy that Stackr one, by all means. Also, I don't know why I X'd out of here. Pink Panther saying, some people think they should become millionaire after investing in crypto for a few weeks. They're delusional. Agreed. Okay, let's do Fantastic Four #1, because I have a few of those comics. Let's see where they are. $8. I've been stacking them around $6. Yeah. Do I have any? I don't think I have any. I have like 8 gems. Not gonna use it on there. So that's Fantastic Four #1, and I think Vengeance. That one, I think is like $2 on. It's $1.30. Yeah, I'm not gonna sell too many of those. But I have like 200 of them, and I wanted to wait till they go to like $4, but just to help the people out there, I do it now. Yeah, it takes a lot of time because people do not waste time. Agreed. As says these clowns are probably they're sitting around nothing. Yeah. So it's one thing if you're out like making content, if you're making a living through your content and you're able to provide value and pay your bills through that way, cool. But I know, and again, if you're providing value, if you're hosting spaces, if you're doing stuff that will get you paid and do whatever, it's like, okay, you are contributing, and that money is that you're making on that is going to pay your bills. Okay, that's your job. There's a bunch of trolls that it's definitely not their jobs, and yeah, they're probably and again, not that just because you're on welfare does it. You could be on welfare and it just have you just had a rough time, rough spot, or maybe you just qualify because you do something for work, but it was seasonal, whatever it was. Cool, and you have enough money and you're just chilling until the next job comes up. Whatever, I don't care. That's fine. But a lot of the the fudders that like when VeVe had the VeVe FUD space, I remember part of this where there was like 30 something people in there. I was like, wow, the VeVe FUD space has more people in it than other projects like spaces. And like again, the fact that these people kind of sitting around all day and they're on the spaces and they're trolling all day is like, dude, how sad must your life be? It's gotta be wild. Please Crypto says, what's going on in the trap house, please? We got a bunch of stuff. Pink Panther saying DEVVE. Yeah, but please, I reached out to Manu about the thing we talked about. He hasn't gotten back to me yet. I also reached out to him today about something different, and he hasn't gotten back to me. It was a link that says beginning September 1st, 2025, the UK government will enforce a £3,000 daily bank withdrawal limit for all individual accounts. Sweeping change will affect millions of customers, from pensioners to small business owners. New policy, part of the government's financial security initiative, aims to combat fraud, curb money laundering, and encourage digital transactions. That is insane. I'm surprised there wasn't like a run on banks. And I messaged that to him because I don't know if I can say. Yeah, let's go, Debbie. JL says, let's say Trump's cutting the food stamps. This might be what. Okay, so to go deeper on the food stamp stuff, because you'll have the left that'll say he's cutting billions, he's cutting tens of billions. These are people that need food stamps. You're not on food stamps unless you don't need it. I'm not going to argue that point, because if you're on food stamps, you probably need it. But originally, back in 2019, pre-pandemic, you had about $60 billion dedicated to food stamps annually. That was the budget. And during the pandemic, they're like, hey, people aren't working. We're going to need more food stamps. Okay, justifiable. How much more? We need to double the budget. That seems like a lot, but okay, why not? So they doubled the budget of food stamps from 60 billion to 120 billion. And now we're multiple years post-pandemic, and the budget was still 120 billion. There's no need for that. You should go back to pre-pandemic levels. But they didn't. They're only cutting 30 billion. All right, so you have 60. You add another 60 because of the pandemic. Pandemic's been over for a while now. It would make sense to go back to pre-pandemic levels and give back that 60 billion. But they didn't. They're only taking away 30 billion. So you're adding 60 billion. And then when you no longer need it, you're only taking back 30. In my opinion, you're not taking back enough. And especially when 25% of all food stamps goes to soda, huge government waste. Huge government waste. So listen, I applaud the rolling back of that budget for food stamps because again, it was 60 billion pre-pandemic, ballooned to 120. It should be back to pre-pandemic levels at 60 billion, especially when 25% of it goes to soda. You don't need soda. Like Chavez, don't you drink soda? No, I don't drink soda. If I'm on vacation and I have it in my alcohol that I'm paying for, sure. But I'm not using taxpayer money for that. In this has been water. Every now and then it's a protein shake. With a little bit of creatine in it. But this is just water. So I'm not telling people, be like, oh, no, you don't deserve soda. No, I'm saying that you should not be using food stamps for soda. And again, it's not even something that it's not even for like, oh, you shouldn't have luxuries. It's because the taxpayer shouldn't be doing for that. And I don't drink, it's not good for you. I don't drink soda. I wouldn't be telling people not to do something like, there's a bunch of TikToks out there of girls that realize, oh, it's actually, I'm generalizing here, most cases, it's actually better to go to guys for gym advice, guys that go to the gym, because they'll tell you what to do, tell you what works, and they just kind of, usually have that more balanced thing, and just kind of know more about that because they go hard in it because autistic AF. Than girls do. And I've seen a bunch of girl content creators say like, I've gotten the better advice from guys. Now, granted, you can go online, you can do your own research, whatever. But in that same way, I just, again, so that's my opinion. And again, all based on facts on food stamps. Anywho, we got, I think Matt says Trump gets less FUD. Hey Randy, I think there's a FUD comment cover with you on it. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there. I've had a lot of fan art done of me, and I haven't seen. I'm sure there are a lot of unflattering caricatures of me, which is fine. Again, I'd like to see them. I'm curious. If you find any, you let me know, because I've seen all like the fan arts. I haven't seen like those types of caricatures. High fructose corn syrup should be banned. Agreed. 100%. 100,000%. It says rich people fasting, poor people eating themselves to death. Yeah, rich people fasting, poor people eating. Yeah, education needs to needs to be a bigger thing, and I don't just mean like teachers, which again, the world needs teachers, like good quality teachers. One, I think they're hard to come by. Even when I was younger, I get tenure. It makes the school look respectable. Says we have this many tenured teachers. If they were if they were god awful during their trial period, they probably wouldn't have made it the tenure. But I've had tenured teachers that teach like fucking Jimmy Kimmel. They're just like they're dead. Like they are like this one teacher that I had. I won't say names, but she was probably the most god awful teacher. Not that she was even mean; she was just dumb. And a lot of listen, when you're young, all adults are smarter than you, right? When you're like grade school, and when I mean smarter than you, I mean that they know the material that you're. It doesn't even matter. Like I had a very tough time in school. I don't even mean like it was hard, although I was an average student. I mean that it was just boring, and I didn't care. And I know that it's hard for teachers to get kids to care, because why do they care that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell? Like why are kids going to care about that? Teachers are set with an impossible job, where they are incentivized like, hey, you have to get these kids to pass these standardized tests, and you teach the test, and it's just wonky. The schooling system is very wonky, and I don't know where to begin to fix that because I've not gone to school in the better part of 2 decades, and heard about the Common Core math stuff that was wild, and it's just it's insane, bananas. Anyway, let's go back to Stackr and see if I can actually sell some of these things. All right, let's go to Vengeance, and I'll sell a couple of these Vengeance comics. Vengeance #1, common. Stackr floor price is $6. What? That is bananas. $6. Okay, well, what we're gonna do, oh my gosh, I have so many, is we're gonna sell these for OMI. $3,300 OMI. Gonna be $1. Yes. Could be $1. Who wants it for $1? Close window. We're gonna do all of these for $1. It's gonna be $1.01 in OMI. 3,300 OMI. And we're gonna list all of them. This is the first appearance of America Chavez. I have 200 of these things, and I think these go to like $4 or $5 at the end of the at a blow off top. I think these go to multiple dollars. Especially, there's been rumors that you might be able to burn some comics at some point. Or what? I don't know. Even if you're able to burn, why would you burn them? Do you get MCP? Do you get like they're not going to give you OMI for it, right? They have to, like, I've heard the idea thrown around that, like, yeah, there might be some way to get people to to burn comics, but there's got to be a wicked good reason for it, Okay, closing all those windows. Go back to dashboard, go back to listings, and let's see. Okay, good. All right. Now we're going to go to Todd McFarlane Batman. And now we're going to go to one that's owned by me, and we're going to sell for OMI. Let's do 60. Oh, no, that is way too. Nope. 9.5 million would be 2,900 doll hairs. Let's do 9. Let's put 9.2 million. Make it 2,800, 2,812. And if I do that, I actually only get $2,700 out of it. That's slightly more than 5x the floor. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to do that. I'll do it. Because it is the only sub 100 out there for Todd that you can get. Close the window. And it was listed for 9.2 million OMI. Okay, let's do so it's gonna be Emmy, right? Emmy, the secret. No, we're gonna have Groot, Captain Marvel secret rare. Oh, it's at $366 on Stackr. Lomint Mick, number 99, 1.2 million OMI. Not bad, Lomint Mick, not bad. Ah, fudge, I just X'd out of something I don't think I should have. Did we do everything? Did DMC, daCat, SHIRO, DEVVE? Oh, we didn't do Definity. Oh, hot dog. All right. Let's get to Definity. They're up 3.33% on the day to 2.2 cents. $3.4 million market cap, 3.8 million fully diluted. Should have got more at 1.5 cents, but I didn't. Volume on the day is $4,000 in volume. 4,000 in volume, so it's pretty low. It is my biggest bag by far, bar none. Thanks, Bay. Got a Bay texting me after the Rona. Okay, hang on. Oh gosh. I don't think. Okay, so listen, my friend's kid. My friend took her kid to the doctor. Her oldest, at the doctor mentioned he's at the age to get his wellness check in December, but wants them to get a HPV vaccine. And I think her oldest kid is like 10. And it's like, I think unless you're sexually active, I don't think you need the HPV vaccine. But maybe, I mean, you can get it like without sexual contact, but I think the original jab was discontinued, right? Sorry, she messaged me. From a logical standpoint, like contagious, doesn't watch. Of course, the kid, but the yeah, after the Rona jab, that was nuts. Like before, I was like, oh, okay, it's mandatory. This is mandatory. I read it's generally safe. So it's probably fine. So just, I feel like I kind of worry what doctors push, you know? Anyway, all right, that was Definity. Ooh, new comment. Coming in from Jason Pena 2000 saying, Randy, once this round of OMI is rewarded, will we simply just repeat this over and over again? Over and over again. I don't care however when you're mine. Just repeat this over and over. Oh my God. Ugh. My tattoo itches so badly. The one on my back doesn't itch that much. The one on my shoulder does. My back. Okay. There we go. Also, make America. Oh gosh. Make America emo again. It itches so badly, and I want to just like, but I can't. It is not yet ready. Oh lordy. Oh, do I love getting tattoos? But the recovery. Oh, I got it, Burns. Meow, 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 meow. That's all I'm getting there. Okay. They have enough. 100 million OMI for a Comey is nothing. They have, I think, what, like 15 billion in their business development wallet. They could do this for a year and only use 8% of what's in there. Most of that, I think, was earmarked for death anyway. So probably a good idea to continue doing this for at least the rest of the year. Yeah, I think they should do this for at least the rest of the year. I think they should do this actually for you until the next bear market, right? Maybe, yeah. They should definitely do it. Now, granted, 100 million OMI right now is like $30,000. When we 10x from here, 100 million OMI is $300,000, and that's a lot. 300K is a lot. So maybe we don't do that. Maybe we knock it down to 20 million. But okay, well, 20 million, 60, because, you know, it's a lot. Anywho, Pink Panther says, just another million OMI on base, simple and easy. Buy ETH base and swap for low fees. Dude, amazing. Congrats, brother. Congrats. Keep getting that bread. Keep getting it. All right, let's get to some of the Some of the news articles here, one of which is Darth Vader Lightsaber by VeVe. Darth Vader Lightsaber sells for $3.6 million, a landmark moment for collecting. By the VeVe team, the force has struck again in the world of collecting. At a recent prop store auction in Los Angeles, the original Darth Vader lightsaber, used an on-screen Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, sold for a staggering $3,654,000. The piece now stands as the highest priced Star Wars artifact that's ever sold at auction, cementing its place in both cinematic and collecting history. The largest purchase ever made of a Hollywood or any type of movie prop was, I think, Dorothy's slippers for like $30 million. But even still, this is pretty dope. This result marks a landmark moment, not just for Prop Store, but for the entire world film collecting, said Brandon Allinger, COO of Prop Store. To see a Star Wars lightsaber, the symbol of one of cinema's greatest sagas, become the highest valued piece of the franchise ever sold at auction is incredibly special. It speaks to the enduring cultural power of Star Wars and passionate fans and collectors who see these artifacts as touchstones of modern mythology. They are. Now, why the price tag soared? At first glance, $3.6 million might seem unfathomable for a single prop, but for collectors, this isn't about owning a piece of metal and resin. Was this written by ChatGPT? I feel like it was. Anyway, it's not about owning a piece of metal and resin. It's about possessing a tangible shard of modern myth. Darth Vader's lightsaber is not merely a weapon for a more civilized age. I see what you did there. It is a cultural icon that has represented power, redemption, and the eternal struggle between good and evil for generations. When collectors bid on something like this, they're not only competing for ownership of, an artifact, they're competing for connection. The hum of Vader's blade, the clash against Luke's saber, silhouette of that red glow against the darkness. These are memories imprinted on millions. Nostalgia fuels demand, and when the item in question is both scarce and culturally iconic, values soar. All right, we're going to go this way for it. Collecting culture in full swing. This sale is part of a larger narrative. Collecting culture is thriving, and that's especially true for Star Wars collectibles. From rare Star Wars comic books and vintage toys to graded cards. Remember the Jedi a la Kurosawa 100K card we talked about? I don't, but we're living in a golden age for fandom memorabilia. Each sale like these signals that pop culture collecting is not a niche pursuit. It's a global movement where passion and nostalgia intersect with investment and legacy. The auction itself underscored that point. Alongside Vader's lightsaber, Harrison Ford's bullwhip from Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade sold for $485,000, and Leonardo DiCaprio's flamethrower from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood fetched $346,000. These are not random objects. They're artifacts of storytelling, symbols of cinematic worlds that shaped our imagination. In the future of collecting, physical meets digital. The sale of Darth Vader's lightsaber proves how powerful physical artifacts remain in shaping our cultural imagination. These items are more than props. They're icons that define eras and connect generations. But collecting doesn't stop with the physical. It evolves alongside technology, creating new ways for fans to engage with the stories they love. On VeVe, collectors can own premium digital lightsabers, officially licensed by Lucasfilm, that capture the same magic of these legendary weapons. Each digital version includes the iconic activation sound that can be placed in augmented reality, bringing the galaxy into your living room. From Luke Skywalker to Yoda to Mace Windu and Ahsoka Tano, VeVe's lights. There was another one, wasn't there? Kylo Ren. VeVe's. Oh God, sorry. No, I didn't mean to. Okay, your noon streaming, level up, get your StreamYard stuff there. I don't know why I did that. Oh gosh, I don't know why it's making me. Okay. VeVe's Lightsaber Series 1 lets collectors carry their fandom in their pocket, display it in 3D, and share it with a global community. Dan Crothers, VeVe COO, explains, at VeVe, we partner directly with leading IPs like Marvel, Disney, DC, and Star Wars to create official, licensed digital collectibles in limited editions. They're real, verifiable assets on the blockchain with proof of ownership and authenticity built in. Physical world creates the icons, and digital collecting extends their legacy into new dimensions. And while there's not a one-to-one Darth Vader lightsaber on VeVe yet, the beauty of digital collecting is a boundless potential. The platform constantly evolves, surprising collectors with new releases that continue to bridge nostalgia and innovation. And tying it all together, why would somebody pay $3.6 million for Darth Vader's lightsaber? Because collecting has never been about the object alone. It's about the story it carries. For decades, lightsabers have been more than props. They're symbols of courage, identity, and destiny. They remind us that the stories that shaped who we are. That's why this record-breaking sale matters. It's not an isolated event. It's a signal that collecting culture is alive and thriving, fueled by the same passion that has defined a fandom for generations. I just had a thought. When this went over, they say they remind us of stories that shaped who we are. I don't know why my mind went to Hey Arnold, but it did. Could have been Pokemon, could have been Dragon Ball Z, could have been Sailor. It went to Hey Arnold, whatever reason. I feel like Samwise Gamgee, where it's like, those are the stories that stay with you, Mr. Frodo. I don't know, like when you're a kid, Hey Arnold is like stories about like growing up, and you deal with members of the opposite sex. Do they like you, or do they like you? It just had fun stories, and I don't know why I thought like of The Notebook. Great movie, by the way, especially if you want to get laid. For those that haven't seen it, it's about about this old guy, and he's visiting this lady, and I think like 2 seconds in the movie you figure it out. He's reading the story. He's reading their story. It was a notebook that she 60 plus years ago had written down. It was Regina George and Ryan Gosling. I forget who plays Regina George. Her and Ryan Gosling when they were younger. Great story. Love story, tragic. Obviously, they wound up together eventually, but as he reads her the story, like she has dementia. She doesn't know who he is. She doesn't know who she is. She just thinks this is nice old guy reading the story. And towards the end of it, she's like, wait, that was us. And it triggers her memory. And she's like, how long do we have? And he's like, just a couple minutes. And I don't know why, but the thought in my mind is like, there's a show called Burn Notice. It's about a spy that gets burned. What that means is that when you sometimes the agency needs a pound of flesh, they burn you're gone with the wind. They your life is over pretty much. And he meets another spy that was active like 40 years ago. And spies are generally known for their really good brain, their MacGyver ways of doing things, their just their ability to get out of certain situations, and their pull. I think every man's grasp or every man's reach should extend beyond that grasp. And again, that's really what spies are known for. James Bond, International Man, right? A bunch of crazy stuff. But in that story, and he meets this older spy that has long since retired. He's starting to forget, but he has these incredible, let's say, knickknacks, these incredible pieces. Like, I bet there's a story there, and the guy's like, if I stare at it long enough, it'll come back to me. Yeah, nostalgia is that huge, powerful thing. I could picture, and again, the physical has its limits. How many supercars do you need? like crypto goes up later. Like I'm not gonna need 10 Teslas. 2 are fine. Cybertruck, and then Model S Plaid. But you don't need 10 supercars. Some people have them. Some people have one for every day of the week. That's cool. Some people get multiple houses just for their artwork. It's insane. But if you already have a massive wardrobe, if you already have a bunch of supercars, like how much more? If you already have a huge ass boat, how much more stuff do you need? But the digital stuff, again, I'll go in and take a look at it. I'll show you right now. Well, why isn't it showing me? Okay, I have almost 1,100 collectibles, and I have 900 comics. I don't think I would have, like, again, even if I had multiple houses like that, that's just so much stuff. And I love collecting. Pokemon is my jam. It's my bag. But I'm not like David that I just collect everything and have warehouses specifically for them. My collecting is more geared towards Pokemon stuff. But I guess what I'm trying to say here is, one, thank you, Miss Gecko, for requoting. I'm gonna give you some hearts as our review. What I'm trying to say is that the VeVe article is correct when they say that nostalgia. And again, why I thought of Hey Arnold, I love those stories from when I was a kid, and obviously Hey Arnold's part of it, or the Godparents part of it, Utron, I guess. But yeah, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, like I did not get a lot of lessons from the people that lived with me. I got a lot of my lessons from TV, and there was one. I mean, and they just, oh god, they had such good ones in the 90s, and I'm sure, and they've had good ones since then. They've had really good TV. Avatar: Last Airbender was amazing. Legend of Korra was really good. And I'm just going like Nickelodeon stuff, right? Not even going like. Anyway, nostalgia plays, and what happens when kids become adults and they get adult money. I think it's really only millennials. Like, millennials are this first generation to like retain that. I don't want to say youthfulness, although I feel that sometimes my generation does. But retaining that kid, like, that childlike, not childish, childlike, just aura and persona. And I don't know, when I was younger, like, adults were boring. I don't think and when I say younger, I mean like when I was like 7, right? Like, I just 8, like, I just don't remember adults being fun until I was maybe like 11 or 12, and then, like, adults, like, they're still kids, like 19, 20, 21 year olds, like, okay, you're cool. But yeah, I remember just adults being boring. And like, adults didn't really play video games back in the day. Like, adults didn't really. When I was like 18, yeah, 30-year-olds played video games. But when I was like, I don't think any 30-year-old played video game when I was 7. Like, if they did, wasn't around. Like, I didn't know any. Like, when you're a kid, you don't really know adults. But I feel like the large part of my generation would start to spend stuff on, like, and again, obviously Star Wars. Oh my god, came out almost. Oh my god, it came out almost 50 years ago. Jesus. It's 48 years ago. And there's someone like Sleeping Comics that somehow saw Star Wars, saw Empire Strikes Back in theaters, which is wild to me. That, like, it was like 2 years ago. He's on the stream, and he's like, "Yeah, I remember going to the theater to see that." I was like, "Steven, you saw Empire in theaters? What?" Like, it made no sense, because, like, he looks so young. He looks younger than me. Jesus. Anyway, Matthew says, "Why we bleeding?" Am I bleeding? I'm thinking of bleeding. What is this now? Movie recaps? Well, I was going based off of the, what's that called? The article that they had wrote. But if you're talking about OMI and why it's bleeding, yeah, down another 3% on the day, down 16% on the week, but it's still at that 3.0 mark. It hasn't gone below that. And it would behoove me if it did over the next 3 weeks, because then get a lot more of it. I would like to hit that 300 million OMI mark. Will I get there? I don't know. We'll see. Or are you talking about the greater market overall, which Bitcoin's up 0.1%? So I don't really understand the bleeding comment. But yeah, so we were going over an article by VeVe, and we're pretty much at the end. So they say that's why this record-breaking sale matters. Not an isolated event, the signal that collecting culture is alive and thriving, fueled by the same passion that's defined fandom for generations. And as new generations begin their collecting journeys, platforms like VeVe are opening doors. They allow anyone to step into the story, hold iconic pieces of lore in their hand or through their phone, and to carry them forward in new ways. From screen-used relics to digital showrooms, the future of Star Wars collectibles has never been brighter. That was a really good article. Granted, it seems like some of it was written by ChatGPT, but I'll give that the okay. So I don't think I'm gonna sell my Captain Marvel Groot because Stackr price is $360, and I feel like it's worth more than that. So I'm not going to sell it for that. But Low Mint Mick has decided to sell his for 1.2 million OMI. That's $365. So I won't do that. But I won't do that. Okay, let's go on with gotta catch them all. Target's trade. All right, really gotta collect them all. You can't. Okay, whatever. Target's trading card sales are on a legendary run. This was from yesterday. Milk and eggs, check. Trending styles and scented candles, of course. The hottest new Pokemon card set collectors are chasing. Yep, we've got you, trainers. Trading cards are big business spanning generations, and Target has become a go-to destination for collectors with a wide assortment of Pokemon, NFL, MLB, and NBA cards. In fact, our trading card business has grown nearly 70% year to date, on track to exceed $1 billion in sales this year. Trading cards are a source of joy for millions, and Target has something for everyone. Whether it's a child discovering Pokemon for the first time or a lifelong fan chasing their next sports collectible, says Cassandra Jones, great superhero name, Senior Vice President of Merchandising. At Target, we're proud to be the go-to destination where those passions come to life. With new releases arriving nearly every week, including top-selling favorites, exclusive and first-to-market items, bringing guests more... Okay, I don't care about this. Where's Pokemon? In spring of 2025, Pokemon cards accounted for the majority of trading card sales at Target, while NFL, MLB, and NBA cards also drove major sales. And we're just getting started. This season, we've got an exciting lineup of programs and exclusive card drops planned, many just in time for the holidays, and it's all designed to keep the energy high and give collectors plenty of reasons to keep coming back through the end of the year. That was it. Okay, I thought that was a better article, but whatever. We are never, ever, ever getting back together. I want to see what Ladies is doing today. Also, should I? Where is the... 1 second, huh? Nope, never mind. Oh, maybe. Okay, maybe I did something good. Hold on, let me check something real quick. Unlock. Nope. Never mind. What we're doing here, Ladies. I don't think they have any news. They are down 1% on the day, which is fine. Okay, let's go over some of the news here. Also, before we get to the news, I have to ask you guys something. Oh, shit. Y'all can smash that like button. It's a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon. So there's a super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Y'all are my bays. Thank you. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the super chats. Although I don't think I've had a super chat yet today. VeVe photos. Okay. Yesterday, right? Yeah. Okay. Everything. Coolmo had mentioned he can now buy OMI on the Coinbase app. Good for him. Department of Justice launches criminal investigation into Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. Good. BlackRock just bought $289.8 million worth of Bitcoin. This was yesterday. Bank of America says the US dollar is overvalued, but could become undervalued next year. It's interesting. BlackRock has sold $151.4 million worth of ETH and bought $289 million worth of Bitcoin. 2 billion USDT was just minted yesterday. Pump the markets. Item available. Powerball jackpot 1.7 billion. Can't wait for tomorrow. There will be signs. I won't be here for like 2 months if those are the signs. Taxi app currently. Tesla's new robo-taxi app is #1 in the travel section of the App Store, beating out Uber and Lyft. Amazing. Trump-backed Bitcoin company soars in NASDAQ debut as President's sons expand crypto fortunes. NASDAQ steps up scrutiny of companies loading up on crypto. US SEC unveils agenda to revamp crypto policies, ease Wall Street rules, and Stripe and Paradigm introduce payment-focused blockchain tempo. SEC Chair Paul Atkins says providing regulatory framework for crypto is a key priority. It's a new day at the SEC. Very good, very good. Turtle saying, "Let's go, Randy." What's going on, Turtle? How's it going, fam? The next, oh god, that's hysterical. Heading there, very good. I'll be in New York for a day in a few weeks. Jan Collect says a storm is brewing. Soon enough, the crypto world will come to realize the true potential of the OMI token, driving a Comey and VeVe official vision forward. Partnerships tied to some of the biggest brands on the planet, like Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, Lamborghini, and many more. OMI is far more than just any other cryptocurrency. It's the fuel behind a rapidly growing platform that connects fandom, collecting, and blockchain innovation. This isn't just hype, it's the foundation of a new era of digital ownership and utility. The only question, will you be ready when the storm hits? Comey had requoted that, saying the foundation of a new era of digital ownership and utility. We like the sound of that. $OMI. Love the sound of that too. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Oh, very good, very good. World Liberty Financial blacklists Justin Sun's entire $500 million in WLFI allocation, which is nuts. Oh, somebody asked what S2 was for DEBI, and you had Tom give the answer saying DEVX S2 is DEVVE's business in which other entities can build blockchain applications on DEVX. It's similar to Amazon's AWS business. The S2 in DEVVX S2 stands for the sharding solution. It's similar in nature to Amazon's EC2 instances, which stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. In both names, the two words with the same starting letter become that letter followed by a 2. Compute Cloud equals C2, sharding solution equals S2. Both names refer to cloud and computers providing the service. The S2 name is also reminiscent of Amazon's S3 product, which is issued for data storage. A blockchain innately is a form of data storage. I like the similarities in naming for our S2 with both Amazon products, so that's where we landed on the business name. He also goes on to say, the fees for the S2 business will be paid in DEVVE and will go to DEVVEO and will be used to pay for servers and grow the business. Growth in S2 will further grow DEVVE and Fiat's utility. DEVVE's and Fiat's use here is like gas on Ethereum. You need the system to be sustainable. Separate from the S2 business, people can earn from the use of the assets where they're contributed to a liquidity cache, and users can share in fees for concepts like market making, instant payments, and lending. It says it won't be in the white paper, but I expect it to be published in a separate announcement. It's interesting. So I'm saying, thanks, Tom. Is there going to be a specific timeline on when to do migration? Some protocols have not given much time and rendered your tokens useless, so I just want to ensure that we are adequately prepared. Tom says, I envision a bridge that continues to go back and forth, so it won't leave people in a time constraint. You have Sarulik saying, how do you see an issue where there is DEVVE and ETH pool, which is kind of illiquid right now, and there is DEVVE in the liquidity cache on the DEVVEX side, with much bigger liquidity, I assume. Do you think this will balance itself? And what about the price on ETH versus the price on DEVVEX? It's hard for me to grasp how you'll handle and resolve that. Thank you in advance. Tom says the amount of liquidity in a DEX, i.e. the size of the pool's assets, doesn't control price directly and even has limited effect on the price when there are other trading venues. The size of the pools in a DEX affect the amount of volatility in price per trade. As others commented, arbitrage is a mechanism that drives prices to be similar on different platforms. If someone sees a price difference on the DEX from DEVVE exchange, they can buy on that one that has the cheaper price and sell on the other one that has a more expensive price for a profit. World Liberty Financial says they believe an exchange has been using tokens to sell and push down the price. Binance. Oh God, I'm sorry. VeVe logo gold and silver mint number 75 was airdropped. Congrats to whoever got it. Trump signed an executive order officially implementing the US-Japan trade agreement, bullish for markets because like $500 million that gets to go to the US from that. And Trump can use it however he wants. Oh, water's so good. We got the top two stablecoin issuers have been the 7th largest buyers of the US Treasury in 2025. Bananas. Descent Wallet has 58,000 followers over on X, and they had shouted out daCat the other day, so very good for them. El Salvador buys $50 million worth of gold. Okay. Oh wow, we're really late. Oh, we are late in yesterday's. Okay. Being real with you says, I fondly recall the cases that held my Star Wars figurines, keeping them safe and organized. It got me thinking, what if VeVe Official introduced something similar? Imagine collecting a set of digital collectibles and unlocking a matching VeVe carrying case to store them in. Or you could just choose a case up front to inspire and organize your collection. Case covers could be VeVe specific, like the one I created as an example, and even IP related. New category suggestion for David Yu, carrying cases for VeVe digital collectibles. And David says, I'm definitely looking into digital ideas. Okay. On this day, September 5th, 2012, I say it's raining on one side of the street, not the other. It's kind of cool. And then I said, it's now raining on both sides of the streets. I think I just saw Slenderman. Also on this day, in 2013, my executor got the Poker Rust, and it was awesome. $11 trillion BlackRock has bought 148.8 million worth of ETH and 134.8 million worth of Bitcoin. That is bananas. Oh, okay. Let's go to X real quick to be able to show what is going on there. Oh, when was the last time I ate? All right, 2 hours ago. I am at 179 grams of protein for the day with 1,890 calories. I want to get about, I don't want to go above 2,200 because I'm trying to cut because I'm fat AF and I need to cut. So 200, ugh. I guess I could do up to 300 more calories, but I only really want 15 more grams of protein. I'll figure it out. I'll let you know. Anyway, let's go to X and see what crypto Twitter is talking about. Oh, shoot. There's a lot of messages on here. I'm not going to get to those today. Let's go and check out Litecoin saying, had the dev work on my SEO, getting there. Did you mean this? Litecoin. Do people still buy Litecoin? 1.2 million followers on X. Guess they do. People talking about Bored Toilet Club, which is cool. I'm not gonna talk about that. Or that Jesus. Oh my God, people are really political today on X. Maduro says the US are lying about drug trafficking to push war. Venezuela is a country that is not relevant in this area and in all matters related to drug trafficking. Yeah. So this lie is so crude and as fallacious as the fact that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. Okay, throwing that in the good point. One, it's a lie. I'm telling the U.S. public, please don't get involved. Listen, we all saw that boat just get destroyed, right? Listen, that you clearly had 11 people that were trying to push fentanyl into the U.S. F around, find out. Like I control your fucking criminals. Like Trump is well within his rights. Stephen Miller says America has been terrorized by cartels. Generations we used our military to engage in action against terrorists in the Middle East and Africa while leaving the terrorists in our own hemisphere unharmed. Stephen Miller says America has been terrorized by cartels for Wait, I just read that. Responsible for so many more American deaths, spilled so much blood across the Western Hemisphere, bereaved so many parents and families, and who have contributed to such a horrific cycle and nonstop, relentless surge of violence in our cities. Every major city in America is suffering from cartel violence. Even the US-based gangs are working directly with these cartels. The drugs, the guns, the weapons, the cash, the organization, we've been occupied by cartels for far too long. Damn, he means business. And he backs Trump against that. And that dude's a Democrat. It's John Fetterman. Yeah, he's getting that bread. Okay, anyway, crypto Twitter, you have DigiJoin saying only 2 left, 2 sold per mint. Damn, $400. Woo. Trump's 17 trillion will be invested in the US in months. I'm happy when you see almost 17 trillion will be invested in the country over the next few months. Actually, we started from the day. Source is C-SPAN. An awful. All right, Miss Gecko talking about Banker. See a lot about Banker. Banker's an easy way to buy OMI over on X. Oh my lordy. I'm not gonna go over that. I'm not stop. Stay connected. Oh my life a bit over the top. Base saying count down the days until base camp 002. So we'll be in Vermont with hundreds of builders from all over the world. I don't know if Vermont's the best place to go, but you know, I'm not base, so. All right, there's really not a lot of crypto stuff. Okay, we're instead of me who I'm following, I'm going to do For You, my For You page. And we got Low Mint Mix saying, should I sweep Secret Rare Grogu up to $1,200? I'm sure Grogu holders would love a collector at heart like me entering the fray. How long ago was this? Oh, this was yesterday. Oh, it was less than 24 hours ago. Anyway, Turtle Golf says, boom, Grail incoming. The force is strong with Low Mint Mick. Let me give him some eyes. I'll say, whoa, whoa, I never meant to brag. Hot take. Agreed. Mazvane says, ready for fall, but squeezing the last weeks of summer. Joined daCat on this sunlit bench. Red cap and all. Oh, love daCat. Ironman616 says, it's great to see the space heating back up again. Many of us have stayed true to our convictions and true to collecting what we love. For VeVe Official, I never collected anything. Now I focus on quality over quantity, and every piece in my collection makes me smile because it reflects something I truly enjoy. So remember when I first entered the space, wishing I could own just one of these items, and now I built a collection I'm proud of. I never collected comics before, but now I've added grails to my shelves and discovered a whole new passion. No matter what ups and downs the space goes through, I'm grateful. Grateful for the collectibles, yes, but even more for the incredible community of collectors worldwide. The friendships and connections we've built are worth more than any item. One day, I wonder how many will wish they had been early like us. That is so freaking cute. I'm going to give them a lot of hearts. A lot of Iron Men over there. Looking really good. Looking really good. Some Doge millionaire believes that Doge will hit $1 this cycle. Agreed. Agreed. It's only 5x from here. Digital Monkeys, 24 hours are out. We got 69 reposts, 41 comments, plus 19 followers, equals 129 times 5,000. He bought 645,000 OMI. Oh, he didn't hit 500 followers. I saw the fam try, so I doubled it for a grand total of 1.29 million OMI. Congrats to him. VeVe Viral said 18 hours, rounded up, and VeVe Viral picked up 3 million more OMI. He's officially at over 60 million OMI. Let's go. Good for him. Comics Crypto says, has the Okomi logo become one of the biggest grails on VeVe Official? I will say not yet, but I think, well, I mean, it's bigger than Partner Statue, right? What is Partner Statue, like 1,500? Let's take a look. Yeah, 1,490. Well, to think that it's 1K more than a partner statue. Yeah, it's wild to think about. And now, Nancy Mays thinks that out of office to visit our weekly protesters. We offered Skinny Pop and Skittles. What should we bring next week? I love you, Nancy. Oh, wow. Wills of the Wisp completed the golden moment. All of them. Damn, he completed all the golden moments. Hollywood film. Oh, very good. Pyro saying ready to start in a Hollywood film. Join our X Space on Saturday, September 6th, 3 p.m. Oh, I think I have a meeting. I do. Okay. I'm gonna join at 4 then. Dart Dogs, 4 p.m. So I'll get there a little late, but that's fine. Lion Crypto King says the DEBI public shard goes live this month. That means real apps, real usage, and real demand for DEBI. Imagine a lending app. Every deposit, loan, and repayment flows through DEBI. Multiply that across dozens of apps and demands compound fast. And this is just a public shard. It's hard to grasp the scope of DEBI. The shard is only one small piece, but already a massive step. Link down below to sign up for the DEBI exchange and to sign up for VeVe if you haven't yet. Hysterical. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me. Everyone, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. And everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye, Dashi. I love you guys. It should be a good song. I don't know a good. Let's do Avril Lavigne. He was a boy, she was a girl. How can I make it? And I just messed up the lyrics to Skater Boy. It's like my favorite song ever. We are in love. Haven't you heard how we rock each other's world?